Welcome, everybody, to Everyday Math Lesson 4.3. This is probably one of my favorite lessons. I know I told my students that yesterday. Only because I really like shading these little pieces in, and I also like talking about expanded form. So expanded form is something that we worked on quarter one quite a bit. We talked about using expanded form, especially with larger numbers. I showed you how to write it a few different ways. So if you look down here on the bottom, you're going to see that we're also going to write it a few different ways. All right. So I'm going to go through this with you in a little bit. We're going to start with our math message. So the first thing in our math message, it says, shade the grid to represent 3. Okay. 3/10. Awesome. Well, we know that 3/10 means 3 sticks. The reason why I know that, remember, that's a box. That's a long. That's how we do this. All right, so I'm going to start by measuring 3 sticks. 3 longs. That is the same as 3/10. Absolutely. There's my 3/10. Done. It says add shading into the grid in another color. So now it shows 3/31. All right, a different color. I'm going to go orange. 31/100. That means that my 100th is going to be 1 square. That is 1/100. And then finally, you're going to use a third color to draw in to make it show 312 thousandths. So I'm going to use my ultra fine point marker. These are my favorite, by the way. And I'm going to zoom in so you can really check to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. Let's see. Am I doing the right thing? Here we go. 1. Let's see. I need 2 thousandths. 1, 2. All right. So now, if you look at this number, and I zoomed in because I know that was a little difficult to see sometimes, especially with those bigger numbers up close. Now, if you look at my picture, you can see that I shaded exactly 312 thousandths. That means if I look at all these itty bitty thousandths pieces and I count them, there will be 312. Awesome. That's how we shade. We're going to do a few other things later this week where we add, later this unit, where we add numbers while shading. So keep that in mind. I use different colors because it's visually, it helps me out whenever I use this, whenever I do the shading. So sometimes you may just want to use different colors if that's something that helps you as well. Okay. Now we're going to use different versions of expanded form. Expanded form, remember, we can talk about using the sum of decimals. So this is just like we did earlier with my Gilman, my trick method. Same way. We can use the sum with multiplication with decimals. And we can use fractions. So this goes a little bit with our lesson from yesterday where you talk about how you can make it into fractions. I know that we talked a little bit about that, especially with our actual assignment. Remember, we renamed everything. So that's going to help us with that number. Okay, so here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to write the first number as a sum of decimals in standard notation. So here we go. I'm going to literally, same thing like we did before, but I'm going to start with my ones column. So in my ones column, I have a 2. And then I can turn that 2 into a 0. Now what number do I have? 0.4. Turn that 4 into a 0. Now what number do I have? 0.07 and 0.003. Use that trick to help you on these. That is the easiest way to do it, guys. Finally, I can do sums of multiplication. So this is where you think about place value. So my 2 is in my which column? It's in my ones column. So we're going to do 2 times 1 plus 4 times 0.1 plus 7 times 0.01 plus 3 times 0.001. There you go. That's how you're going to do your sum of multiplication expressions with decimals. I want you to now look at the fractions and how they did the fractions. Notice that 1 is a whole number, so they put it times 1. 4 times 1/10, because guess what? It's in the tenths column. 7 times 100th, because guess it's in the hundredths column. And 3 times 1,000th, because it's in the thousandths column. All right, I want you to try to come up with the sum of decimal and standard notation, so this box right here, for the next number. Which one of these options matches? For this one, you could write each number at a time. So you could say 0 plus 0.0 plus 0.09 plus 0.004. Absolutely, you could say that. Now, my only thing is these two are kind of optional. So if you want to go ahead until you have 0.09 and start there, that's fine. Plus, there you go. I would have accepted either one of those answers. Now I want you to try to find it as the sum of multiplication using decimals. Which one do you think matches? For this one, you're going to do 0 times 1 plus 0 times 0.1 plus 9 times 0.01 plus 4 times 0.001. That's what you should have chosen for this answer. Again, just like before, if you just did these two, I would have accepted that as well. Finally, I want to do the fraction part with you. The next one that's a fraction you're going to do on your own. Here we go. All right, I know that they started with the ones. There's nothing in my ones. They went to the tenths. There's nothing in my tenths. Then they went to the 100ths. In my hundredths column, I have 9. So 9 times 1 over 100. My 4 is in my thousandths column. 4 times 1 over 1,000. That is how you do this one. Exponential form, technically, I know that you guys, some of you really like the exponential form. It is an option for these, but it is a little tricky. And so I'm not going to show you that part for these numbers. Exponential forms, I would like you to use for numbers bigger than 1, but we're not going to use it right now as decimals. Okay. All right. Number, the 7.752. Write it in expanded form. All right. For this answer, you should have put 7 plus 0.7 plus 0.05 plus 0.002. If I went through really quickly on that, that is okay. There will be a supplemental video added today of me going a little slower with that process and that with that way. So please check that on the, I think it's slide 6 that has the explore and apply. So check for that video there. Okay. Here we go. Sum of multiplication expression as a decimal. Let's go. What do you have? For this problem, my 7 is in my ones column, so it's going to be 7. Tenths column, so 7 times 0.1. 5 times 0.01. Plus 2 times 0.001. That's how you would do that problem. And finally, sum of multiplication expressions as a fraction. Try this one on your own. Go. All right, for this one, don't forget to put your plus signs. If you are missing your plus signs, your answer will be wrong. All right, 7 times 1 plus 7 times 1/10 plus 5 times 1/100th plus 2 times 1,000th. That's what you should have written. Awesome. Now I want you to try to work on the last one on your own. I will be posting this in the video at the very, very end. The reason why I want you to do this on your own is I want to see if you can take what we did and transfer it. Okay? Going on to the next page. So we are now page 119. It says use 3 cards to create a decimal on your decimal place value mat. Record the decimal that you created in one of the boxes below. Write the decimal in expanded form, and then shade the thousandths grid using a different color to show the value of each digit. All right, you know me, I like my dice, I like my cards. I'm going to roll my dice. I have a 3, a 5, and a 6. Expanded form, 0 plus 0.03 plus, that's supposed to be a 3, let's fix it. 0.05 plus 0.006. All right, different colors. Here we go. 3. I'm going to do my tenths in orange. Oops, there we go. 3 tenths. I'm going to do my hundredths in pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, there's my hundredths. And I'm going to do my thousandths in, let's do it in blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's how you do that one. Great. Let's do another one. 4, 4, 2. All right. Write it in expanded form. Please write in the chat, what would this be in expanded form? Go. 0.4 plus 0.04 plus 0.001. That's what I would do for that one. All right, just like before, remember these are my sticks, these are my hundredths squares, and these are my little thousandths small pieces. All right, my sticks are going to be in blue this time. 4 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I do is I like to just kind of outline it, because that makes sure that's nice and neat. Awesome. Awesome. All right. 4 hundredths. I'm going to do this one in pink. Or yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. And then finally, 2 thousandths. So I'm just going to use these 2 right here. There we go. There we go. All right. As a little bit of practice today, what's going to happen is you're going to do the last 2 on your own. So you have 3 total things that you did on your own today. We will be checking them over in the Zoom meeting with your teacher. So make sure that you are checking those over with us. If you have questions, please feel free to send me a message or an email. I would be happy to help you. Have a great day, guys. Bye.